Late at night, Sheriff Alex Reed uncovers a chilling file. The Shadow Ridge mine disaster, 1962, claimed his grandfather's life not by explosion, but something far darker. Buried secrets of uranium, rare earths, and a government cover-up worth billions unravel, pulling Alex into a deadly conspiracy. Will he expose the truth or become its next victim? This tale's fiction, crafted from real-life whispers for education and thrills. Want to know what happens next? Like, subscribe, comment, and share this video to join the hunt for answers. Don't miss the twist that'll keep you glued till the end. The basement storage room reeked of dust and old paper like a forgotten tomb deep in the Appalachian Hills. Alex Reed, sheriff of Hollow Creek, West Virginia, pushed through stacks of boxes under the harsh glow of a single flickering bulb. It was past midnight, and the county building echoed with emptiness, but he could not shake the tedium of sorting old records for the new digital system. His boots scuffed against the concrete floor as he yanked another file from the shelf, wedged between faded traffic tickets and courthouse logs. The folder was thick and yellowed, marked Shadow Ridge Mine Incident, 1962. Alex had heard whispers of the tragedy growing up, the worst disaster in Hollow Creek history. 17 miners lost in a methane explosion. His own grandfather had worked the mines before switching to safer construction gigs, or so the family story went. Always dangerous work, Grandpa used to say, but steady pay for a man with few choices. He set the file on the rickety wooden table and flipped it open. The report, typed on an ancient machine, detailed the horror. At approximately 11:47 in the morning, a catastrophic methane blast ripped through the eastern tunnels, collapsing 3 shafts and sealing the men inside, all presumed dead, rescue impossible. Then the list hit him like a gut punch. 17 names, ages, occupations. His eyes locked on one: William Harlan, age 31, lead foreman. Harlan, his grandfather, full name William Harlan. Alex felt a cold shiver crawl up his spine, his heart pounding like a jackhammer. Grandpa had died when Alex was just a kid, always told it was a heart attack, nothing more. Family never mentioned mining, not once. Dad said he built houses, stayed clear of those deadly depths. But here it was, black and white on faded paper. What the hell? He muttered, flipping pages faster now, his breath coming short. Black and white photos showed the mine entrance, twisted metal, officials in suits huddled with reporters. Clipped to the back, a handwritten note caught his eye. Investigation incomplete. Recommend deeper probe into safety protocols and witness timelines, discrepancies noted. Signed Deputy Marcus Reed. Below, in bolder script, case closed per sheriff, orders no further action. Alex stared, his mind racing. Why shut it down so fast? 17 dead families shattered, and they wrapped it up quick. Next page, a settlement from Cumberland Coal. Each family got $5,000, hefty sum back then, but peanuts for a lost breadwinner. Signed within 3 weeks, explosion, on April 23rd, sealed by May 15th. Too damn fast for something this big, usually dragged on for months, with lawyers and probes. At the bottom, a sealed envelope marked company evidence. Inside, geological surveys, diagrams he barely understood, but one phrase jumped out. High-grade uranium ore deposits, estimated value millions per ton. Uranium. In 1962, Cold War raging, nukes building fast. That stuff was gold for weapons. If the mine hid, that maybe the explosion was no accident. His radio crackled, startling him. Sheriff Reed, you copy? Go ahead, dispatch. Call from State Mining Office, they need old safety records for audit. Alex glanced at the file, his grandpa's name glaring back. Tell him, I'll call tomorrow, got something to check first. He gathered the papers, locked them in his truck, and headed out on Route 52, the mountain road winding dark and foggy. The mine site was only 20 miles away, but he had never visited, no reason to poke at old wounds. Tonight, though, doubts gnawed at him. If Grandpa died down there not from a heart attack, what really happened? And who buried the truth? Halfway there, he spotted movement in the tree line, a tall figure lurking, then vanishing into the pines. Alex gripped the wheel tighter, his pulse thundering. Someone watching, or just his imagination. He accelerated into the mist, the road ahead, swallowed by shadows. The patrol car bounced over potholes on the cracked asphalt road, leading to Shadow Ridge Mine, the air thick with pine scent and lingering coal dust. Alex Reed gripped the wheel tighter, his mind reeling from the file locked in the glove box. 20 miles from town, but it felt like plunging into another world, the mountains looming like silent guardians hiding dark secrets. The gate hung open on rusted hinges, a faded sign warning Cumberland Coal authorized personnel only, danger, keep out, scrawled in red paint that had dripped like blood. He stepped out, the gravel crunching under his boots, the silence eerie, broken only by a distant owl hoot echoing through the trees. 50 years of neglect had softened the scars, but the bones remained concrete, foundations, rusted rail tracks, and the sealed mine mouth yawning black behind thick poured concrete and steel beams, welded in a tight crosshatch pattern. Alex walked the perimeter, flashlight beam dancing over the reinforcement. It looked overkill, not just closing a shaft but burying something forever. Kneeling near the entrance, he spotted dates, stamped in the concrete, April 24th and 25th, 1962, the day after the supposed explosion, and the next. His stomach twisted. The report said, rescue teams dug for days, but if they sealed it in 24 hours, how? No way they even tried. He snapped photos with his phone, the flash illuminating scattered papers, half buried under leaves, timesheets, safety logs, fragments of geological surveys. One page caught his eye: high-grade uranium ore deposits, estimated value $2.3 million per ton. Uranium in a coal mine? In 1962, with the Cold War boiling, that was strategic gold for nukes. Another scrap mentioned rare earth elements, neodymium concentrations, unheard of, vital for missiles and tech, worth billions today. Pieces clicked. Maybe the explosion covered a grab for riches. His phone buzzed, an unknown number. He answered warily. Sheriff Reed. A distorted voice rasped, some stones better left unturned, Alex. Drop the file or join your grandpa. Who is this? Click. Dead air. Chills raced down his back, heart pounding like a drum. Back in the car, he dialed home. Dad, pick up. Henry answered, groggy. Alex, what time is it? Dad, why lie about Grandpa? The file says he died in Shadow Ridge explosion, lead foreman. Silence stretched. Son, where do you find that? County Archives. Henry sighed heavy. Alex, drop it. Dangerous, like back in '62 when families vanished overnight. What families? The victim's kin got settlements, then poof, gone. I got an anonymous check once, $10,000 suspected hush money, but I burned it. Scared for you and your mom. Alex hung up, doubts swirling. He drove to Aunt Eleanor's place on the town edge, her house creaky with mothball smell, television flickering blue light. She opened the door, eyes widening. Alex, at this hour? Aunt Ella, I know about Grandpa the mine. She pulled him inside, locking the door, peering out curtains. You shouldn't dig, boy. They watch. Who? Same folks who made families disappear. Your grandpa documented it all. Surveys, proof of uranium and rare earths, government grab. She handed a small brass key, trembling. Safety deposit box under alias Patrick Harlan, First National, Logan County. Everything he hid. But Ella, they killed anyone who talked. Tears welled. He was stubborn, wanted justice for those men. Go careful. Alex pocketed the key, hugged her. As he drove off, headlights caught a tailing car in the rearview, engine revving low, and menacing shadows closing in on the winding road. Alex Reed weaved through the dark mountain roads, his patrol car hugging the curves as the tailing sedan loomed in the mirrors, headlights piercing the fog like predator eyes. He lost them after a sharp turn onto Route 119, accelerating toward the old diner 10 miles north of Hollow Creek. The place had been shuttered for years, parking lot asphalt cracked, and weeds pushing through, but the lot lights still hummed, yellow casting eerie shadows. Alex parked near the entrance, scanning for threats, his heart still racing from the chase. A lone pickup sat in the corner, and a figure emerged from the shadows. Oliver Kane, probably in his 70s, white hair, thin frame, but eyes sharp as a miner's pickaxe. Weathered face scarred from decades underground. He moved slow, joints creaking like old timbers. Sheriff Reed. He rasped, voice gravelly from coal dust and silence. Thanks for coming. Wasn't sure you would. Alex shook his hand, grip strong despite the age. You said you got info on Shadow Ridge. Oliver nodded toward a weathered picnic table under the buzzing neon sign. Let's sit, this'll take a spell. He poured coffee from a thermos, steam rising in the chill night air, smelling bitter and strong. I was 22 back, then worked the day shift but called in sick that morning, food poisoning or so, I thought. Should have been down there with M. William Harlan. Your grandpa was my boss. Fair man tough as nails. Alex leaned in, pulse quickening. You saying no explosion? Oliver laughed bitterly. No methane blast, Sheriff. Gunshots, lots of 'em, echoing 500 feet down like a damn war. I couldn't sleep. Felt guilty, so drove out around noon, hid behind an equipment shed, and watched. Men in suits hauling rifles, coming up from the shafts. Not miners, contractors, cold-eyed bastards. Loaded boxes, files, equipment, into unmarked trucks, spent hours at it. Proof, Alex pressed. Oliver reached into his jacket, pulled a tarnished brass shell casing, setting it on the table. Picked this up outside the entrance that day. .306 caliber military issue, not mining gear. And this, he unfolded, a yellowed paper geological survey, circled in red, high-grade uranium ore reserves. 47,000 tons, market value. $127,062. But Sheriff, that was just the start. Rare earth elements, 2 neodymium for weapons, satellites. Stuff worth 10 times more now. Alex examined the casing, his mind whirling. Who, Oliver? Government? Contractors for the nukes program. Cold War hot. They offered relocation, new lives, cash. But your grandpa refused. Said it was theft from the community. So they executed him, all shot like dogs, sealed the bodies behind concrete. Oliver gripped Alex's arm tightly, voice dropping to a whisper. They're still watching. Killed Deputy Marcus in a car accident. 3 months later, straight road. He knew like his hand. Reporter from Charleston, heart attack at 31. Anyone who dug too deep vanished. Guilt haunts me, Oliver added, eyes distant. I stole a sample once. Thought I'd sell it, but nightmares come. Ghosts whispering in tunnels. Co-workers. I ratted on to save my skin. Alex checked state records on his phone. No incident logged. Mine closed. April 22nd. Administrative families gone. Public docs show 6 relocated in 6 months, 8 erased. No trace. Suddenly headlights swept the lot, a dark sedan pulling an engine idling. Oliver stood quick. Time to go, Sheriff. Be careful, they know you're digging. Alex bolted for his car, but Oliver stayed, muttering. I'm done. Running the figure. Stepping out, shadows. Advancing slow and menacing. Alex Reed slammed the gas pedal, his patrol car roaring away from the diner, gravel spraying like bullets as the sedan headlights faded in the rear view. Heart pounding, he cut through back roads, fog, swallowing the mountains, until he reached a desolate pull-off, 10 miles out. Brakes screeching, he stopped, engine ticking hot in the silence. Before he could catch his breath, another set of lights pierced the mist, a dark sedan blocking his path. A man stepped out, clean-cut in a sharp suit, eyes cold, as forged steel, flashing a badge under the high beams. Sheriff Reed. I am Agent Victor Lang, FBI. We need to talk. Alex kept his hand near his service weapon, pulse thundering. Depends on the topic. Lang smiled, thin and predatory. The kind where I explain why digging into 50-year-old mining accidents ain't smart for you, or Hollow Creek. Alex stepped out slowly, the air chill and damp. You've been tailing me. How'd you know about the diner? We monitor chatter on Shadow Ridge since your calls to state mining office flagged our system. National Security, Sheriff. Lang pulled a redacted folder from his jacket. The 1962 incident was a federal op securing uranium for Cold War nukes. Your grandpa William Harlan discovered the deposits, became a risk. Twist hit Alex like a cave-in, so no explosion. Murder. Lang hesitated, eyes flickering, a rare crack in the armor. My dad was involved back then. Contractors handling containment. Hard choices, Sheriff. Uranium. Built nukes that deterred Soviet threats, saved millions. Relocation offered new IDs, jobs, cash, most took it. Harlan refused, threatened to go public, stubborn patriot, but a liability. Alex felt rage boiling. Murdered Americans for profit, that's treason. Lang leaned closer, voice low and chilling. Difficult decisions in desperate times. The rare earths, neodymium, too essential for missiles, satellites. Worth $10 billion today in tech markets. Walk away, your family stays safe, career intact. That night, Alex tossed in bed, dreams haunting him. Grandpa's voice, echoing from shadowy tunnels. Dig deeper. Alex, not just uranium, ancient deposits government knew since 1940s, dozens other mines across Appalachia. Waking sweat-soaked, he grabbed the key and headed 30 miles to First National in Logan County, arriving at dawn, mist clinging to the brick building like ghosts. Inside, 2 suits lingered near the desk, flashing badges to manager Elias Thorne, thin man in his 50s sweating nervously. Alex approached the teller, handed the key. Box 247 under Patrick Harlan. The teller glanced at the agents, uncertain. Sir, talk to Mr. Thorne, federal inquiry on old accounts. Alex raised his voice. This ties to a homicide probe in Mingo County, immediate access. The agents turned, recognition flashing. Sheriff Reed once said, hand on jacket bulge. Lang sent us to assist. Plans change, national security oversight on classified materials. Chaos erupted. Alex drew his weapon, heart hammering. Everyone down, these men interfering with murder investigation. Customers screamed, dropping flat, teller hitting panic button. Agents drew guns, muzzles glaring. You're making a fatal mistake, Sheriff. Thorne whispered to Alex. I knew your grandpa, he hid more than you think. Alex backed toward the basement stairs, Thorne following, gun steady. In the vault, surrounded by steel boxes, Alex inserted the key, the lock clicking open like a coffin lid. Inside, documents, photo samples, and a letter in Grandpa's hand. If you're reading this, I am dead. The conspiracy, bigger than uranium, rare earths, government ops, since 40s, dozens mines, hundreds victims. The vault plunged into chaos, muzzle flashes exploding like lightning in the confined space, as Agent Victor Lang's tactical team stormed down the stairs, automatic weapons barking, heart-pounding thunder. Alex Reed dove behind a row of safety deposit boxes, pulling manager Elias Thorne with him, bullets ricocheting off steel with chilling pings. Gas hissed from vents, acrid and choking, clawing at their lungs like invisible talons. Sheriff, get the evidence, Thorne gasped, coughing violently, eyes watering. Alex clutched the documents, Grandpa's letter, execution orders on official letterhead, redacted but damning, classified ops to eliminate witnesses, secure rare earths since 1940s. Dozens of mines, hundreds of victims across Appalachia, Kentucky, Pennsylvania. The conspiracy sprawling like underground roots, worth trillions in modern electronics and weapons. They crawled toward the service door, Alex firing blind shots, muzzle blasts blinding the agent's night vision gear. The door burst open under his boot, revealing a narrow pneumatic tube corridor, dust-choked and claustrophobic, barely wide enough for their shoulders. Go, he hissed, pushing Thorne ahead, knees scraping metal walls, echoing like trap screams. Behind them, Victor's voice boomed through the haze. Thermal scans show him in the tubes, flood with gas, flank, and terminate. Alex's lungs burned, vision blurring, but ahead faint light glowed the drive-through window. He kicked the cover free, crashing into the parking lot, fresh air rushing in like salvation. They tumbled out, gasping, Thorne clutching his phone, the recording still running despite failed uploads. Federal agents swarmed the perimeter, rifles trained, shadows lurking in every alley. This way, Thorne wheezed, leading to his car behind the hardware store, keys jangling. Tires screeched as they peeled out, sirens wailing in the distance. But Alex knew it was a trap. More feds mimicking state police. At Shadow Ridge Mine, Deputy Lucas radioed, frantic. Sheriff, we breached the seal, fresh excavation someone dug in hours ago. Bodies down here, 17 skeletons in work clothes, gunshot wounds, execution style. And an old man hiding in the woods. Oliver Kane says he needs you now. Alex floored at 30 miles, blurring in fog, arriving to chaos. Lucas securing the site, flashlight beams, dancing over unearthed horrors, bones tangled in rusted gear, personal effects wallets with faded photos. Oliver emerged from Pines, face gaunt but defiant. I dug the secret entrance, Sheriff Docks in a hidden chamber, contracts, lists of containment ops, 300 victims over 80 years. Rare earth stolen for nukes, satellites, cell phones, all built on blood. Chase erupted, agents converging, Victor leading the pack, guns blazing through the tunnels, beams collapsing in heart, stopping rumbles, dust choking the air. Alex cornered in a side shaft, faced Victor muzzle to muzzle. End this, Victor, or you're next. Victor hesitated, voice cracking, the system's bigger. Sheriff, my dad started it, but it owns us now. Alex broadcast via Lucas radio. Snippets going viral to local stations, evidence flooding airwaves, state police choppers thumping overhead, real ones this time. Victor dropped his weapon as troopers swarmed, but whispered, this ain't over, higher-ups pull strings deeper than these shafts. 6 months after the Shadow Ridge revelations, Alex Reed stood at the mine entrance, sunlight filtering through the Appalachian pines, casting long shadows over the site, now swarming with forensic teams, journalists, and congressional aides. The air smelled of fresh earth, unearthed horrors finally seeing daylight. Investigators had recovered 16 bodies from the depths, skeletons tangled in decayed work clothes, each with execution-style gunshot wounds, corroborating Oliver Kane's chilling testimony. Grandpa's remains, though eluded them, buried elsewhere perhaps, to erase his defiance completely. The congressional hearings dubbed the Shadow Ridge inquiries gripped the nation's C-SPAN broadcasts, revealing the full scope. Hidden chambers yielded boxes of damning documents, contracts between government agencies and mining firms, lists of containment operations spanning 80 years, 300 victims, across 6 states, rare earths, siphoned for nukes, satellites and modern gadgets worth trillions today. Cumberland Coal, now a global giant, faced wrongful death. Suits families finally compensated, billions flowing like long-denied justice. Alex touched the granite memorial etched, with 17 names, flowers wilting in the West Virginia chill. Oliver Kane stood nearby, no longer hiding, his voice steady. "Sheriff, we finished what your grandpa started." Alex nodded, hugging his parents, Henry and Margaret, relocated briefly, but now safe. "Dad, justice ain't full, but it's a start for Grandpa." Twist came via text, anonymous. "Sender, more sites. Your grandpa's real body, in hidden vault. Watch your back." Alex pocketed his phone, pulse quickening. The conspiracy roots ran deeper, higher-ups escaping with national security shields. But the James Morrison Transparency Act, named after Grandpa, passed, mandating oversight on resource ops, public disclosure of surveys, whistleblower protections. From a historian's lens on mining conspiracies, the Shadow Ridge scandal mirrors West Virginia's grim history, where corporate greed and government secrecy devoured lives. Think Monongah or Farmington disasters veiled in official lies. Lessons ring clear: transparency safeguards democracy. Whistleblowers like William Harlan emerge as unsung heroes, challenging the powerful to prevent buried truths from festering into greater evils. Beware those shadows in Appalachia, or anywhere questioning official tales unearths raw truths. But at steep personal peril, stay vigilant, or history loops back, devouring the unwary. Alex drove toward Hollow Creek, the memorial fading in his mirror, ready for whatever lurked next in the mountain's endless depths.